Mr. Boo.
Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho! Hey everybody, it is I, Mr. Boo, the Entertainment Guru, Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru, right here on YouTube. Throw the thing up, do with it what you will. If you would like to support the channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe. And if you want to know when I'm dropping more content of anything and everything all entertainment, give that notification bell a little bit of a ring. Well, we're here today. I'm out walking this lovely morning after Christmas, and it got in my head that maybe I should do one of my Christmas movie reviews that revolves around the ending of the movie where they're walking or they're running through town and they're saying, you know, Merry Christmas movie theater, Merry Christmas big birch tree, Merry Christmas so-and-so's jewelry, and you know, just saying Merry Christmas to every inanimate object they can, because everything ended up okay in the end. And that is what brings us here today. No, it is not A Wonderful Life. It is A Wonderful Knife. And it is on Hulu. That is where I watched it. And you know what? It was a pretty decent movie for what it was. And we're going to get into the spoiler-free review right now. It'll be quick, it'll be easy, it'll be fun. And if you have not seen this movie, I suggest going on over to Hulu. Looking this movie up right here. It's A Wonderful Knife. It is a play on A Wonderful Life. I've never really seen A Wonderful Life. I just remember the ending where he's running and he's learned his lesson on Christmas. And he's saying, you know, I love you and Merry Christmas and all this to all these inanimate objects and buildings. And where I'm at, you could probably be like, Merry Christmas, abandoned crack house. Or Merry Christmas, house that's being torn down next week. But, you know, running through the streets, happy as can be, happy as a lark, and having a very Merry Christmas when the whole movie has just gone wrong. They've learned their lesson. Now things are going right, because in A Wonderful Knife, which parodies along the parallels of A Wonderful Life, you have a small, quaint town that is built with mom and pops. It is a community. It is what I'm used to back home. Little rural areas with little thrift shops, antique stores, mom and pop restaurants. Not a lot of big franchises or chains, or there are, but in between you have these little places that are coming up that are not big franchises and chains. Some of them being mom and pop shops. Then you got a guy who is running for mayor. He is rich. He is buying up all the property to make a mega mall and make this town into a booming, thriving city of sorts. And people, they've been given in, except for one person. And that person is the last remaining person he has to get through. The last bit of property. One more home he has to buy and demolish. So on Christmas Eve of all days, he goes over to this man's place and he's trying to convince him, sell to me. It's the best thing possible for the town, for me, for everything. I'm going to be mayor one day. This is my dream. This is your dream. Blah, blah, blah. Politics, politics, politics. Dude's not buying. Dude's not selling. Dude's not listening. Nah, this house has been in his family for generations in this town. Loves it. Wants to give it to his granddaughter. She's the next in line. Well, the granddaughter comes down, interrupts it, and they say, oh, nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. Well, she ends up saying, hey, I'm going to a party. I'll be back at this time, blah, blah, blah. Grandpa lets her go. Later that night, Grandpa's alone, gets a knock at his door. It's an uninvited guest. In fact, it is a knife-wielding Christmas angel, which actually kind of looks very eerily cool. Very eerily Christmas spirit, horror. It really cool. Looks like if Scream were a Christmas movie, and I'll get more into that too. Ends up taking the man down. Because, hey, I mean, is it obvious who may have sent this person, or if it's him under there himself doing this? Because he wanted that property, right? He wanted it so bad. So then this ghost, this Christmas spirit, this angel, shows up swinging his blade at the granddaughter at the party that she's at, ends up taking other victims with him until he is stopped by the main character. And this is where the plot really comes in at, because the main character stops him, sees who he is, knows who he is, and becomes kind of the hero in the first act, basically the opening act. A year later, they fast forward to a year later, Christmas Eve again. No one in this past year in her family, none of her friends, no one in the town has ever asked her how she's doing, how she's handling all of this. I mean, she took a life. Whether or not she saved people, she took a human being's life in self-defense. It doesn't matter. It's still traumatizing her. No one has asked about her PTSD. Everyone's acting like nothing happened last year, and they're going about their business, living their life, and just being happy it's Christmas, and just never really paying that attention that was needed in the year prior, leading up to this Christmas with what happened the last Christmas, which is where she took an insane man, and she saved people, but took that insane man life. That's got to, you need counseling, you need help, you need support. She's not getting it. So she ends up going out to her friends because her family's not paying attention, finds out her boyfriend is seeing another woman and has been since last year. So since Christmas last year, this woman has not had a great young life. So she goes to a doc and she wishes she was never born, that she was never here, that no one knew who she was. Well, lo and behold, the aurora borealis, or however you say it, the northern lights, is showing. They do a little glow, a little sparkle, a little thing, a little something. Now all of a sudden, no one knows who she is. The town has changed because she had never stopped the serial slasher. She had never stopped the knife-wielding angel. Her father thinks he only had one kid, and that was her brother, and that he's gone because she wasn't there to help with the killer. So what do you think happened? Put two and two together. Without her, the guy became mayor, bought up the whole town, bought up everything. People are changed. People are under his control. Things are different. Not one soul knows who she is. But she convinces someone who was kind of laid down earlier at the following parties she attended for both Christmases, or of Christmases past, which is kind of a person who no one really liked, no one really gave any credit to, no one ever noticed, called her weirdo. You know, that whole teenage thing where it's like, you just, for some reason, groups bully each other. Bullying has to stop. Well, they put it in the movie because sadly it happens. I was bullied. People are bullied every day. And this girl ends up being the only one who somewhat believes her and helps her out through the whole movie. So basically the whole movie is, not only is she trying to prove who she is, but trying to stop everything from happening all over again and find a way to restore the actual timeline, the actual past events, so that none of this ever took place again, that she stopped it before it happened. So the whole movie is they team up and they're trying to get to the killer because she knows who it is. And they throw a twist in there with the first time they stop him, it not being who you thought it was. But anyway, in the end, they find out that they have to stop the events. They have to take the original person of these horrific, terrible events out before the Northern Lights flickers out, or she's stuck in this timeline forever, for good. There's no going back. She gets a family member to believe her. She gets on board. And throughout this entire thing that I said I was going to get to, this entire movie that feels like a Christmas version of Scream because of the way the aesthetic looks on the angel killer, on the angel wielding the same kind of knife that Ghostface wields, and the way he pops up everywhere, and the way he moves, and the way he looks, and the way he does what he does and goes about his business. This feels like Scream, only It's a Wonderful Life married Scream, and this was their child, and it grew into a really good 4.5 star movie. I'm not gonna give it 5 because there were parts of that were predictable. Like even when she starts at the end running down the road and doing the whole Merry Christmas this and Merry Christmas that, and I love you. Okay, it's a Wonderful Life. We get it. In the end, she actually saves a life because that bullied girl had had enough. And that's where she's running to tell her, hey, you're coming over. We're having Christmas. We're best friends. Do you remember what we went through? Does she remember? I don't know. Watch it and find out. If you've seen this movie, comment down below what you thought. If you haven't, head on over to Hulu and watch It's a Wonderful Knife. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really decent for what it is. Guy goes crazy on Christmas, starts whacking people off left and right, like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, and I realize what I said, get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, he keeps unaliving people left and right, left and right. Girl stops him. No one cares what girl's been going through forever and ever for the last year, acting like everything's just fine, blah, blah, blah. The person that is related to that guy runs into her, you know, gives her crap about taking her brother's life. Her best friend is seeing her boyfriend, stuff like that. No one is caring about the PTSD. They're carrying on about their wonderful lives. Get it? A wonderful life. So she wishes she was never born. Be careful what you wish for, everyone. Be careful what you wish for, indeed, because all of a sudden no one remembers her. The world she knew is gone. The timeline she knew erased, and all hell has broke loose, and she has to stop it before she's stuck in the timeline forever. It's a pretty clear cut and paste of A Wonderful Life, but you're adding in a, I don't know, weapon-wielding psychopathic angel. So, in my book, 4.5 out of 5 stars, 4.5 stars. It is worth a watch. It is actually pretty good. And if you're a fan of movies like Scream and more of those real life kind of slasher scenario movies, instead of it being like Art the Clown or Jason Voorhees, more along the line of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream, you know, like, you know you can stop the enemy, you know you can get away from the enemy, that kind of thing, this is definitely a movie for you, because the only supernatural events that actually take place is she wished upon, not a star, but the Northern Lights, and she really should have been careful what she was wishing for. And on that note, I've been Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru. Go watch It's a Wonderful Knife. It is on Hulu. It is pretty good. Watch it before the new year. Finish out your holiday season before 2025 with a pretty decent slasher film that runs parallel to It's a Wonderful Life. 4.5 out of 5 in my book. I'm Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru. I'm almost to where I gotta be today. And until the next video, I will see you later, because, as always, Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru has reached that point in the video where I'm out. Bye. Hope you had a wonderful, merry, and scary Christmas. More videos to come. What did I get for Christmas? What does an Entertainment Guru get for Christmas? As well as, why the hell did I watch the Ginger Dead Man series? Anyway, more to come from me. I'm out. Love you guys. Merry Christmas.